is where the police are vetting people who are accessing this shrine called Mukure wa Nyagathanga, and basically to ensure that infiltrators will not be allowed to access this place. But earlier on, leaders allied to Murang'a Governor Mwangi wa Iria had vowed to marshal the sons and daughters of what they termed as daughters of the Agikuyu community to stop this exercise from going on and also defend this shrine. But we haven't seen any of them here. We haven't seen any people allied to the governor of Murang'a trying to stop this exercise. And right now the exercise is moving on smoothly. And the speaker will now be the one who will be providing the sense of direction to the Mount Kenya region in terms of where they will be heading towards the 2022 general elections, and also in terms of pushing their political and economic interest in the national discourse moving forward. Because there are people who are arguing that despite the huge population in Mount Kenya region, the region has become weak politically, and that is something they are trying to use this occasion to reclaim that political strength that has always been associated with Mount Kenya. That is it for now. I'm taking you back to studio.
All right, Vinny, and it's worth taking note that the Murang'a governor was opposed to this exercise, saying it is tantamount to politicizing a holy shrine. The Kirinyaga governor also voiced her opposition, saying President Uhuru Kenyatta still remains the leader of Mount Kenya. Away from matters Mount Kenya, a section of young women leaders in Trans Nzoia County have identified the current hard economic times as the leading cause of the county's rising number of health problems. The leaders say that more than 10% of youth in Trans Nzoia suffer from mental health problems, even as the county lacks psychiatric facilities to accommodate those suffering those challenges. The group is organizing a mental health walk in October this year to raise funds meant for constructing a mental health facility in the county to curb the rising number of people dealing with mental health conditions, or rather to aid them. The mental unit at the Kitale Referral Hospital has been overwhelmed by high numbers.
Because you find most parents even cage their kids at home because they find them to be destructive. You've heard Akini say they will just inject her, maybe to stop her from being violent and such like.
We lack equipment, we lack places where people who have mental issues can run to and get help. So today we are here, we gather together to mark this day by asking our leaders to set aside facilities, funds, and we want it to be out there that let's push it. Let's talk about it. It is not a taboo, because
a section of Kiambu members of County Assembly have strongly condemned the Gatundu South Member of Parliament, Moses Kuria, for what they say is foul language used against the Kiambu Governor, James Nyoro. According to the MCAs, the foul language was spewed after Moses Kuria's party won the Juja constituency seat in the recent by-elections. They are now calling on relevant authorities to take tough disciplinary measures against the Member of Parliament and urge him to apologize.
Sisi tunasikia uchungu akitusi msasi, hatujui wameulizana nini na Nyoro. Naomba Kopia atuambie anasimamia kina nani. Ikiwa hajaambia Moses Kuria, apologizea wakina mama, kwa sababu Moses Kuria alitusi mama.
Wow, quite the interesting turn of events there. President Uhuru Kenyatta has commissioned operational vehicles and engineering equipment refurbished by the Kenya Defence Forces technical team. Speaking during the launch at the Thika Barracks in Kiambu County on Friday, President Kenyatta commended the KDF for its ingenuity and a high sense of civic duty. The head of state noted that the rehabilitation of the vehicles and the engineering equipment had saved the Kenyan taxpayer billions of shillings and significantly enhanced KDF's operations. He said the engineering vehicles and equipment will boost KDF's ability to support civil and humanitarian activities across the country, and that includes the construction of dams, water pans, boreholes, and roads, particularly in arid and semi-arid regions.
Country in the world is grappling with a severe pandemic that has negatively affected lives, health, livelihood, and security. This capacity that we have introduced today will go a long way undertaking the required civic and humanitarian interventions that we need to do.
You've heard of a bundle of joy. Well, a 25-year-old woman went into labor expecting triplets, which is a rare enough occurrence in its own right. But then she discovered she was giving birth to quadruplets. Maxine Nyawira Kariuki delivered 2 boys and 2 girls on Thursday night at Thika Level 5 Hospital. Rose Wangoi shares the joyous but overwhelming story.
At the Thika Level 5 Hospital, 25-year-old Maxine Nyawira finds herself in a bittersweet situation, having given birth to quadruplets. Nyawira gave birth to her preterm babies through C-section.
Today we are delighted to have delivered quadruplets for the first time ever, and they are all stable. We delivered 2 girls and 2 boys. The boys were 1.4 kgs each. Those were the first and the second twins. Then came the girl, 1.6 kgs, and another small girl, 1 kg.
This is a first for Maxine, who does not have multiple births in her lineage. The surprise first came after she got an ultrasound examination during the antenatal clinics. She was informed to prepare for triplets, and though exciting, it was also a bit overwhelming.
Hisi vizuri, lakini it was a surprise. Tulikuwa expect triplets. Dakika ya mwisho ndo nimesikia nimewaona wote. Hata nimeletewa picha, ni wakubwa wako sawa.
She is counting her blessings literally.
Nimefurahia sana juu hiyo kitu ilikuwa inanipa stress, lakini saa hii venye wako uhai wote nimefurahia zaidi.
The babies will have to stay at the facility for further observation. Now a mother of 5 adding to her firstborn, Nyawira now says she has a huge task to provide for her family since she's the sole breadwinner and she could do with some help. Rozongoi, NTV.
Adorable. Staying with matters that affect children, and parents and residents of a school in Kwanza constituency in Trans Nzoia County have protested against land grabbing of the primary school land, causing pupils to lack a compound. The irony is this: they say the land has been grabbed by the school church sponsor, and that is the Reformed Church of East Africa. The land dispute started in 2008 when the church began demarcating school land without the involvement of the school's management. The board claims that the church has colluded with the Ministry of Education officials and land officers to intimidate them. They claim the church has already sold 5 acres of school land and fenced part of the school compound, and this was done over the holidays. The church also fenced off part of the school compound during the holidays and planted maize, leaving pupils with no playground. The school board of management and committee want the Education Cabinet Secretary, Professor George Magoha, to intervene.
Kanisa ya Reformed Church imekuja hapa, ilikuwa ni iombe watoto kuwa sponsor, lakini hakuna kitu yoyote imetusaidia katika kwa hii shule.
Hii imekaa kama fuse ya stima, wasije wakatulaumu. Tumeshikilia na tumefanya, tumeonesha mwenendo ya amani, lakini hao watu hawatujali. Walikawana hata wakati wanakuja kukawa. Sisi tuko karibu hapa, hawezi kutupikia simu hata waseme kujeni muone what is happening.
Kiwa wanalima shamba la shule, wanakodesha, wanakata miti za shule. Hiyo maneno yote tumekuwa tukiripoti kwa Kapkoi Police Station, ambapo hawajakuwa wanachukua hatua yoyote.
Security officials in Kajiado County are on the spot over the rise in livestock theft in the past 2 months. More than 500 goats have been stolen from herders who question how it could have happened.
Angry herders stormed the Kiseren police station, demanding answers over their lost goats and sheep. According to the herders, well-orchestrated thefts have been taking place during the night, something they say doesn't make sense considering the nightly curfews.
Na hii mambo ifikie hata Matiang'i. Na hii mambo ifikie hata unatembea. Kwa sababu polisi wote wa Kajiado hatuna imani na wao. Hatuna imani na wao. Hatuna imani na wao. Na tuogopi tukisema hivyo. Hatuwezi kuwa kila siku sisi hatuna mshahara, na hatuwezi kuwa kila siku day by day tunapoteza mali yetu. Na tunapoteza mali na roadblocks iko, curfew iko. Na wa maskari kila siku wanashika makaa, probox ya makaa inashikwa, mtu wa pikipiki anashikwa, walevu wanashikwa, lakini hakuna siku mbuzi yetu sitashikwa.
And there are more complaints about the police handling of cases in the area.
Kuna walifu walishikwa jana kufikishwa hapa na si polisi walishika, ni sisi raia tulishika. Kufikishwa mahali hapa, kuamka tukaambiwa mwizi ametoweka. Sasa sisi tunashindwa, kama mwizi anatoweka kwa mikono ya polisi, tutakimbilia nani?
The angry herders say that in some incidences, they managed to track their livestock in other counties.
Bwana Mutiambai, tafadhali tunataka kujua ile helikopta inachukuanga mbuzi kutoka Kajiado kupeleka Nyandarua. Kwa sababu tumeshuku kuwa hakuwa si azipiti chini, zinapita juu. Hii wakati ni wakati wa curfew, hii wakati ni wakati wa mtu hata kutoka kwako ni hatia, lakini waizi wako na haki ya kutembea usiku.
The herders now say if the police fail to take action, they will do it themselves. Anita Nkonge, NTV.
Former Kenya Sevens head coach Benjamin Ayimba is dead. The late Ayimba succumbed to cerebral malaria at the Kenyatta National Hospital last night, where he's been receiving treatment.
Condolences continue to pour in following the death of former Kenya Sevens head coach Benjamin Ayimba on Friday evening. Ayimba, who had been battling cerebral malaria since last year, was transferred from Avenue Healthcare Hospital to Kenyatta National Hospital on April 10th, where he was receiving treatment until the time of his demise. The circumstances of the 44-year-old's death also paint a picture around the lack of support for retired sportspeople and legends, with Kenyans coming out over the last month to contribute towards Ayimba's ballooning medical funds, led by President Uhuru Kenyatta, who donated 1 million shillings towards his medical kitty. The late tactician came to the limelight in 2006 when he was picked as the Kenya Sevens head coach while still playing for the national team. He had previously featured in the 2001 and 2005 Rugby World Cup Sevens. The former Impala Saracens player will guide the team to its first ever World Rugby Series final during the Adelaide leg of the series in 2009. Ayimba, who captained the national 15s and Kenya Sevens teams, is arguably the most successful Sevens coach, having guided Kenya to their maiden victory in the World Rugby Sevens series with victory at the 2016 Singapore Sevens, where the team beat Fiji 7-3 in the finals. In June last year, he was appointed as a technical director of the newly formed Kenya Rugby League. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Lokader Natiom, NTV.
We've lost a true shuja. We take a break. NTV at 1 will be back.